Good morning and welcome to What's New in Automation for Monday. Today is September 9th, 2024. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. We're getting off a little late here this morning, being 8:40 in the morning, but I still wanted to bring you the show today. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. And we'll switch over here to this. And from there, we will talk about the first news story. So we always start this show by talking about the news stories we're covering or just recently covered. And first up is Endress and Hauser unveiled their new modernized sales center. This is, I think, 60,000 square feet. They just renovated. So congrats to Endress and Hauser. And then we went over to Siemens, and they released last week a new fail-safe analog input module for the S7 1500 slash ET200MP. This is a FAI8XL, so 8 inputs, 0 to 20 milliamps with HART functionality, and it's failsafe. From there, we also talked about and are covering the new R95 I/O junction block from Banner. This has Type P67 and it has 8 19-pin M23 connectors. And with this release, they also expanded their line of M23 cord sets. So they have these both a 19-pin and 12-pin. The 19-pin can carry 8 amps and the 12-pin can carry 4 amps. From there we go over to Moxa. They get the first TSN component certification for their new TSN Ethernet switches. So congratulations to Moxa. And KUKA is expanding their KR I say skate all the time, KR SCARA robot, and they're going to now support up to 60 kilograms. I see that. My brain just says SCADA. It's not SCADA, it's SCARA. From there we go over to HMS. They launched their new AnyBus Defender industrial security appliances. This is a whole lineup, and you know, this little guy right here, now they own Red Lion now, but this little guy looks just like, it may be relabeled or brand labeled. It looks like the RA10C, which we had them come on to talk about. So it'll be interesting to see if these are the popular Red Lion products that AnyBus is now marketing, now that they own them, as their own products. With that, let's go over to Luez. I don't know how to pronounce it. But in any case, their inductive sensors have now been increased. They now have long operating range models up to 40 millimeters, which is great. The ones in our trainers here at the Automation School are about 8 millimeter. And that's an 18 millimeter diameter. So in any case, that's pretty long range for an inductive prox. Not to say other people don't do this. I'm sure all the other vendors have long range proxes. And then they also had what I thought was very interesting is these new pinpoint sensors. So pinpoint LEDs, right? So you don't have to use a laser. And it keeps that light focused so you can detect smaller parts. You have less crosstalk between sensors and so on. So very interesting product line there. Now, if you want to catch all the links and everything I covered last week, check out the automation news for September 4th. Just go to theautomationblog.com/news. And you'll see the last episode right at the top there. And this is where you'll find the news show. You'll find the podcast. You'll also, if you're a member, you'll find the full news show. And then you'll see all the links here. And again, if you're a member, either on theautomationblog.com or YouTube, all the links are in the video there as well. So from there, I wanted to go over to the Automation School, talk about what's new there. Some of the students may not be aware of that. Every week I do a Q&A for level 2 students and level 2 members. And this Q&A, all of the past episodes are available in lesson 1.10, which you should find in every course that costs, let's see, $48 or more for a lifetime course. So you can go in there and catch all the previous Q&As. Now, while each course we have here at the Automation School, you know, tackles a particular topic. Right here, we're looking at my Unified HMI course, which I'm working on a lot this week. The Q&A is kind of potpourri, so you're going to get all kinds of stuff, PLCs, HMIs, all kinds of different things. But in any case, it's just an added member benefit. So if you buy a $50 course over at the Automation School, you not only have access to it for life and Q&A support to ask questions, you also get that weekly webinar and I do 1 hour open office every Friday morning. So this is something nobody else offers. Plus, we're the only online training source that interviews vendors on a regular basis. You know, the Automation Podcast, I do that once a week, right? So you'll find at the bottom of the course, there's all kind of bonus interviews with the vendors. I found it's a great way to keep the audience at the Automation Blog up to speed, and on YouTube up to speed, and on all the social media, LinkedIn and all of them, but also to keep students up to speed, right? So just wanted to update you guys on that news. And also the training center. So we got students coming in next week. So I'm going to be doing some upgrades in here. I'm going to be putting lab manuals on those vertical screens you see there. And I'm going to be updating all the analog wiring. I'm not bringing in the ultras yet. Just don't have the time to get into that right now. But they're there. They're not. I was going to rip them out and sell them and put power flexes in their place, but they're like $50 a pop. So it's not even worth taking them out. And I'll add power flexes in the future as finances allow. But in any case, we will be. I will be updating these this week and ordering the IEEE certificates. So when you come to an in-person course at the Automation School, you get official, not just a certificate from the Automation School. You get an official certificate from IEEE. Okay, so you know, I just think that's a great bonus. It doesn't cost us a lot to add that. There is a cost to the school to do that with IEEE. Of course, they're an organization. They got to pay their people too. But it's just a benefit that we can offer that a lot of people don't. And if you come, if you're not already enrolled in our online courses, if you're enrolled in our online courses, you get a discount. So if you bought a $50 course or a $100 course, you get up to $100 discount on your in-person training. But if you come to in-person training and you're not enrolled in the online courses, I enroll you so you can continue. Yeah, you're only here for a week or maybe even a day, but you can continue to ask me questions and have access to the lessons on the topic you chose for the rest of your life. So it doesn't cost us anything extra to do that, right? And we haven't had a student in over 10 years abuse it. So I'm still going to continue to offer that just to differentiate us from the other people. We're here to help people learn. And that's the whole point of doing this whole company, actually. From there, if you didn't remember, last week we did, actually, I think a week and a half ago, we did 2 episodes. The Automation Minute, we showed you how to download RSLogix for free, including the free emulator. And then for members, I did a walkthrough on using the debug files in Emulate. They're so cool. You know, if you're doing MicroLogic 6500 PLC5, I really think if you haven't played with these debug files, you should. It's good stuff. Now I know a lot of people have moved on to ControlLogix, CompactLogix, S7, Opto22, Horner Automation, Schneider Electric Monicon. But if you're still using this old stuff, it's good. It's a good way to learn about it. And this week, I don't have a slide for this, but this week I did all the prep last week. So this week I'll be showing you how to use a Slick 100. Yes, I've been getting a lot of questions saying, Sean, I got an old Slick 100. How do I get into it? So for the Automation Show, I'll go through it soup to nuts. And then for the Automation Minute, the freebie version, I will cover like the top points, right? So if you don't need to see every blow by blow of me actually doing it, you can just catch the Automation Minute for free. Although I do want to say I thank all my members. You guys make these shows possible. From there, we go over to the Automation Podcast last week. I sat down with Emerson, and they told me all about their factory automation product line, which I always thought of Emerson as process, right? So it was good to see what they have for factory automation. And then we did a deep dive on their robotic paint automation solutions. I thought it was very interesting. I know most of you probably don't have robotic painting in your facility. That's more like an automotive thing or maybe large appliances. But in any case, I thought it was interesting. So I really appreciate the coming on. Now the video is member only because Emerson didn't have a budget to sponsor it. But the podcast is available to everybody free, as always. And I know there's like 750 to 1,000 of you who jump in and listen to that as soon as it comes out. So I just again want to thank the audience for being so awesome. And from there, we go over to the Q&A Friday we did. And this was a good one. So for the question of the week, I covered the question about Logix tasks versus programs versus routines. A very smart student of mine said, can you explain this in a different way? So in this episode, this freebie episode of the Question of the Week show, I do go through that. I try to explain it in I think what I take, 7-8 minutes. Try to go through it and really explain it in a different way than what's normally explained. And then the full Q&A show for level yeah, level 2 members and students. I covered a bunch of additional topics as well. I covered overlaps, very important to know. I covered Flex.io. We had a customer who's trying to get the Flex.io to work with his demo trainer. So we covered what he needed to do to get that set up to work on that. And I also went over hub switches, managed switches, and so on, kind of differentiate those. So that was the longer half-hour show. And then you can see all the links right here if you're interested in any of those topics. So these are all available for the public. And with that, I do want to reach out to you guys. If you know somebody who's used the Cymax, this is the Model 300. We had a very nice gentleman donate this to us, and we have it on display in the area we have here in our offices. It's we call it a display from the Automation Museum. We don't actually have the funds yet to open an Automation Museum, but that's the goal. But in any case, if you know anybody who knows anything about the Cymax 300, we'd love to get somebody just to write up a little, one page. Hey, the Cymax 300 came out in this year, and it was great. Customers really liked that. It had this, that, and the other thing. And because I've never used the Cymax, this is an old Square D programmable controller, and this was actually a demo unit that that was donated to us. So I got some other things I donated that come in. I don't have pictures of it yet, but I actually purchased and donated myself a 6500 blue case demo case. I have somebody donated a Pyramid Integrator, but I think it's only the CVIM module. It's not the Logic modules, which is the fun stuff. But and then I have an old PLC2. It doesn't even say PLC2 on it. It's just an old PLC. So we got all kinds of stuff we'll be setting up on display here in this little nook I have, at least to do a small, to display some of the stuff in my collection that I'm donating to what will be a nonprofit as soon as we raise the funds to create it. Would you believe it costs a lot of money to start a nonprofit? You have forms you got to fill out with the state and the federal, and then, ugh. Anyways, you guys don't want to hear that. So from there, just to kind of go over the content schedule for this week. Today's What's New in Automation. Tomorrow we'll have the news shows, both the full-blown show for members and the headline show for the public. Wednesday, I'm going to try to do them live. I'll be doing the automation show for members, going through the Slick 100, how to connect up to it. And then I'll be doing a freebie version, the Automation Minute for the public. And then we should have coming out Wednesday afternoon, the Automation Podcast with, I think this is going to be one with Schneider Electric's new solar VFD. I think this is such a cool concept where you can connect your solar panels or renewable energy directly up to the VFD. I mean, it's not brand new concept, but this is a brand new product from them that's just new and improved, has all new kinds of features. A really exciting product. I'm hoping to actually do a hands-on too with it at some point. But so that's the podcast. I believe that's coming out to everybody because it's sponsored, so it'll be completely commercial free. I'm always a fan of commercial free when vendors step up and sponsor it, and so I want to thank Schneider for doing that. Then on Thursday we'll do the automation news shows again, catch up on what's happened in the last few days, and then Friday will be another Q&A. And I would suggest please send me in your Q&As. You can leave them anywhere. I'll try to find them, but the best place to send them into is either a comment on YouTube or just by clicking on the question, submit a topic or question at the Automation blog, wherever you're a member, or even if you're general public, we're accepting Q&A from everybody. If you're a student, just so I have some, we had so many questions last week that I didn't get to do more with the application programming side. But again, we don't have a lot of questions. I'll after whatever I cover, I'll go into the application programming. I know we want to finish up with the widget machine so we can move on to some more advanced programming solutions. So with that, let's see what's next here. And of course, if you enjoy these shows, please, I should say this at the beginning, please give us a like, a sub, and a share. That is the only way we can grow the audience and find new vendors to come on the show and new sponsors. Of course, long term, I would like to hire a couple of people in here to help make this even a more professional and show. So I know over on the computer side, creators like me, they get sponsorships for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we typically get $4.99 for a sponsorship. So if we can grow our sponsors, we can grow our staff, and then offer more to sponsors, and offer more to you, our viewers. So with that, you can join and become a member over at theautomationblog.com/join. And you can see that page here, or on YouTube. You can join up there. Now, if you want to know what's included, of course, you can always just go to automationblog.com/join, and I've listed it out all over here. And if you have any questions, just shoot me, use that question link and shoot it over to me. So I think with that, we are back to the beginning. And so that's all of the new. That's everything that's new that I found in automation for this week. Again, we'll have a good show tomorrow covering what came out over the weekend and what came out yesterday and today. And we'll also be doing that automation show a minute on Wednesday along with the podcast. So stay tuned. I want to wish you all an awesome week. I want to wish you good health and happiness. And until next time, my friends, peace.